So in this video, we're going to finish up this lesson. We're going to do examples 8 to 11. So in this first example, in example 8, we are going to evaluate the trig function just like we were doing in the last few. And but this time we have to add or subtract 2 pi, basically. It says using period as an aid. We won't see a lot of this in the calculus realm, but you might still see some of it in your assignments until we get to the calculus stuff. So 11 pi over 3 again. We can either we can count the wedges. I'm going to go ahead and do the subtract 2 pi. So I know that in over 3 world that 2 pi is the same as 6 pi over 3. So 11 pi minus 6 pi is 5 pi. So really we're finding the sine of 5 pi over 3. So I'm going to go find 5 pi over 3 on the unit circle. If it wasn't there, then I either know I made a mistake or I need to subtract or add again. Okay. Sine we know is the y value, so I'm going to grab that y value, which is negative square root of 3 over 2. And it's not a bad idea to check. I know that only cosine's allowed to be positive, so my sine did come out right. That's another good reason why we taught you what we did yesterday. All right, negative 5 pi over 4, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add 2 pi, which in over 4 world is 8 pi over 4. So this is really the same thing as saying the cosine of 3 pi over 4. It's coterminal with that. So I'm going to find 3 pi over 4. And we know that the cosine is the x value, so I'm just going to write down the negative square root of 2 over 2. So we have a few other functions or identities here that they pop up every once in a while. I didn't want to just completely leave them out. So we're just going to, they're pretty quick and easy. So the cosine, and this is just things I would have to tell you. You'd have to read them out of a book. So the cosine of negative t, because it's an even function, is the equivalent to the cosine of t. Same thing with the secant, because it's an even function. When it's an odd function, the sine of negative t is the same as the negative sine of t. And same thing with tangent, same thing with cosecant, and same thing with cotangent. So the way I like to think about it is the even ones, the negative goes away. The odd ones, the negative kind of bumps to the front. Okay. So we're working on sine, and it says that we have to find the negative sine of negative t. Well, if I know that sine is, so that I know that that's the same as negative sine of t, so I'm going to substitute that value in, so I get negative 1/4. Cosecant of negative t, I know is the negative cosecant of t because it's an odd function. And then compared to sine, I know that cosecant's the reciprocal, so I need to do the reciprocal to get the answer, or just negative 4. Cosine of negative t, I know is the same as cosine of t. So I could just literally just substitute the 5/4 in. Secant of negative t is secant of t, because they're even. And then I'm going to do the reciprocal of cosine, which is 4 over 5. So that's the end of the lesson. Make sure you do the summary and it answers the essential questions. And make sure you do 2 comments or questions in between the essential question and the summary.